So, Ruben, let's get going. Let's just rock and roll into this.
Are we recording?
Yeah, it's recording. We're recording. We're good to go. I mean, we can start whenever you want, but we're recording. We're on the air.
I want to rock.
Well, I do too. In fact, that would actually be a great episode.
Welcome to the worst of the best podcast. You wanted the best. Well, they didn't freaking make it! So here's what you get. From Canada, Ryan and Ruban.
Twisted Sisters. What's the best album? Stay Hungry.
Well, it's funny that you say this, Rube, because we're covering Skid Row today. And Skid Row.
Album.
I was just going to say, Skid Row kind of falls under the joke that we just made about Twisted Sister regarding our podcast. So our podcast is we don't pick the best, the public picks the best, or the band, in this case, picks the best. But Skid Row, Ruben, has actually released 5 studio albums.
Yeah, I admire the 5th one.
No, 2 of them were without Sebastian.
Well, the 3rd one was actually pretty good.
Yeah, and we're going to talk about that. So for our listeners that are listening to this and they're saying, how could you not include a subhuman race? That's what we need to talk about, Ruben, because we had to pick out of Skid Row's discography, we had to pick their best albums with Sebastian Bach. Well, let's be honest, Skid Row without Sebastian is just not Skid Row.
No. I loved Skid Row. Youth Gone Wild.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, what year did this come out? 89? So I was like 12 years old. Down with the man.
Mm-hmm.
Let's break through. Just the youth going through the streets, pounding on the chain link fence. It was amazing.
Yeah.
Skid Row is worth covering. Those 2 albums are so good. They're so good.
And Sebastian Bach in 1989, I think he was very young.
Yeah, he was like 19 or something like that.
He was born in 68, so he was 21 on Skid Row's debut album. That's Kirtland's age, my oldest son.
Yeah. But the boys got pipes.
It's Sebastian Bach's vocals, and he's a fellow Canadian, like you and I.
Yeah.
So yeah, Sebastian Bach, he is a wicked vocalist, quite a personality. He is consummate frontman.
Yeah, Yeah. My heart always kind of goes out to him. I always feel like he's misunderstood.
Mm-hmm.
Some people have kind of slagged on him.
His ex-band members.
What's the record manager guy? I want to say, what's his name? I forget his name, but he's like Bon Jovi's manager. I also want to say Guinness or something like that. I know if I heard the name, I would know. He says some pretty rude stuff about him. Sure. The guy he's a good-looking, tall talent with incredible voice.
Yeah,
and,
absolutely. He went on to do some Broadway shows. He starred on Gilmore Girls, and he's actually had a as far as his solo career artist goes, he's had a pretty successful solo career. I mean, he's released some solo albums. He goes on tour, and let's be honest, if you had a choice for him to see the band with a different singer play Skid Row tunes, or Sebastian Bach with a different band playing Skid Row tunes, who would you rather see?
Oh, Sebastian Bach. I've seen him as a solo artist twice.
Twice? Okay, you got me beat. We saw him together the first time together.
Yes. Well, it's worth covering. We saw him in a club in like Surrey. It was packed. It was sketchy. There was no barricade. We went right to the front.
Yep.
And tell me what happened.
Well, Ruben, you had a chance to sing in the microphone.
I did. I shared a microphone with Sebastian Bach.
Yeah.
I got to say monkey business.
Yeah.
For the Monkey Business chorus. It was fantastic. It's like a dream come true.
Absolutely.
I want to mention the second time. Second time he was opening up for Guns N' Roses.
Okay.
I went with a girlfriend. You know, she's not really into the metal scene. It was just, I'm going with this guy that I'm dating.
Sure.
I'm having a great time watching Sebastian give it. It's awesome. It's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
And then she says to me, "Oh, I know him." I'm like, okay, we're in the middle of a rock show.
Right.
Gilmore Girls.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Of course.
I was like, yeah. Well, good for him. Yeah.
he definitely did get a following from the Gilmore Girls show.
Yeah, good-looking rocker.
My wife Becky has watched all the Gilmore Girls, and if I were to play Skid Row's Youth Gone Wild, I'd be like, have you ever heard this guy sing before? And she'd be like, no. I'm like, yes, you have.
What does he sing on the show?
I think I don't watch the show. I haven't seen it, but my understanding is, believe it or not, I think he plays like a rock star, or like he sings at a pub or something, or he's a reoccurring character, side character.
So that's right, you bring me at the bleachers, no principals, no student teachers. Both of us wanna be the winner, but there can only be one. So I'm gonna fight, gonna give it my all, gonna make you fall, gonna suck it to you. That's right, I'm the last one standing, another one bites the dust. A few times I've been around that track, so it's not just gonna happen like that. I ain't no holla back girl, I ain't no holla back girl. A few times I've been around that track, so it's not just gonna happen like that. Cause I ain't no holla back girl, I ain't no holla back girl. Ooh, this much, this much. Ooh, this much, this much.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we can spend the whole thing talking about that. So,
Let's get into it. So, Ruben, their top 2 selling albums, this should speak volumes to the band members who refuse to regroup with Sebastian. They cannot stand him. I think we'll have a better chance of Sammy Hagar and Eddie Van Halen touring again than Sebastian Bach with this band.
I don't get it. How is it that his solo bands will tour with him? Is he that terrible, but his solo bands will tour with him?
Or even better yet, is it that terrible that Axl hangs out with him?
Yeah, exactly. Or that terrible that he's able to do Broadway? Terrible
and
that
the Gilmore
he's able to
Girls?
do Gilmore Girls? Sometimes when it's like the one guy out, it's like, oh, it's probably that guy. But
His band hates him. The Skid Row band.
yeah.
And Ruben, I think they're on their 3rd or 4th singer.
No, they're not making money.
No.
Think of the money that they're making to keep this going on because they got the name Skid Row.
They kept the name Skid Row, and Sebastian Bach got to keep his name Sebastian Bach.
It's just like enough people like, hey, Skid Row's coming into town. They're playing at this club. Let's go. And then they go and they're like, that's not...
Everyone that goes to a Skid Row concert is saying to themselves, sure, these guys can play the instruments. And yeah, Rachel Bolan and Scott Hill and Dave Sabo and Rob Afuso, sure, they all wrote the music.
You read those names.
I did. I got Wikipedia. For, you like that? Well, you know those names. When I read them to you, you knew them.
Yeah.
Bolan and Sabo, they're the two big songwriters. Sebastian Bach did very little writing of lyrics or of the music. He was literally the front man. Absolutely. He's the Vince Neil of Skid Row.
Sure.
But unlike Vince Neil, Sebastian Bach, he can sing live and remembers the lyrics. Yeah. Here we go. So the 2 top selling albums of Skid Row / Sebastian Bach's career were the first 2 albums, Skid Row, the self-titled debut album, and Slave to the Grind. So let's first talk about Skid Row's self-titled debut album. You know that Bon Jovi has a little connection here to Skid Row, correct?
Yeah, well, I know they share the same manager, which I mentioned earlier.
So Skid Row, Ruben, they were formed in '86 in New Jersey by bassist Rachel Bolan and guitarist Dave Sabo. So to their credit, the 2 songwriters of all the albums and music, they're still together. The guys that created the band, it is really their band, and they're still together, and they've been together since 1986. Then they recruited another guitarist, Scotty Hill, and then the drummer, Rob Afuso. So these core guys have been together. It's pretty impressive.
Bassist, guitar player, they're the ones that have the money then for the songwriters.
Right. Bassist, guitar player, and drummer. Now, lead vocalist Sebastian Bach replaced the original singer Matt Fallon after the band spotted Bach singing at a rock photographer Mike Weiss's wedding at the age of 18, and the members asked him to join in early '87, and the band began playing shows in clubs. Now, here's the connection with Bon Jovi. Sabo and John, the bassist guitarist, were teenage friends with Bon Jovi. And Sabo was briefly a member of Bon Jovi before being replaced by guitarist Richie Sambora.
No.
Can you imagine? But at that time, none of them were big. They were just 2 bands. But who knows? Maybe sounds like it was a peaceful split because Sabo and Jovi remained friends, and they made a promise together that if one of them made it in the music business, they would help the other one out. So they were good friends. They left on good terms. I guess there's probably creative differences, I bet, because obviously there's 2 very different sounding bands.
Oh, yeah.
But here's a connection, Ruben. Bon Jovi's manager was Doc McGee. Yeah, Doc
was a little brutal to Sebastian, yeah.
Yeah, Bon Jovi asked the manager Doc to seek out Skid Row, and they secured the band on a record deal with Atlantic Records in '88. So friends, connections, man. Connections.
Sure, yeah.
Bon Jovi was huge at this time. This was their Living on a Prayer. And they're like, hey, do us a favor, Doc. Make us happy. Get our buddy a record deal. Okay. There we go. They did their debut album called Skid Row. Came out in '89. You were 12. I was 14 when this album came out. And what a great time for this album to come out. Now, here we go. Now, the album opens, Ruben, with Big Guns. Let's just hear a little sample of that.
Great opening.
All right, now Big Guns. It's funny. I was listening to the song in the kitchen a couple days ago to get freshen up for this podcast because this album did come out 30 years ago. Is that crazy?
Okay, by the way, I don't know what you're about to say.
Yeah. Okay. Let me see.
But I think it just dawned on me that never dawned on me when I was 12.
Okay, so Ruben, I was listening to.
Jeez.
I was listening to this. So when I was 14 when this album came out, okay, and I was pretty innocent, pretty naive little 14-year-old, okay, and
I was 12,
and you were 12.
It just dawned on me now.
Now you and I both thought that the big guns that were being whipped out were big, six-shot revolvers. The girl was carrying weapons.
Yeah,
but no, she double entendre in metal. You gotta love it. The title goes on to say that she had big guns. She had big guns, and she whipped them out and blew me away. All right.
It's like when
it's a great opening track, though. That guitar riff and that opening track is. Do you want to say which ones are worse yet? Do you have a pick yet? By the way.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So the next one, title track 2, "Sweet Little Sister."
# me too.
So, "Sweet Little Sister" is another song about love and tenderness. All right, track 3, "Can't Stand the Heartache."
Can't stand the heartache.
That's their Jovi influence right there, that opening.
Oh, yeah. Big chorus there.
Yeah.
It's all the guys in the room. Okay, guys, we're going to do this.
Yeah, let's go.
Let's listen. Okay, me and you, let's try to do it right now. Okay.
No.
2, 3. Okay, come on.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
Can't stand the heartache.
Can't stand the heartache.
This is good solid metal, but not like this one better than "Sweet Little Sister," I'll say that much. But I don't want to give away the worst just yet, so I gotta be careful. Okay, now, Ruben, number 4. I think this is when the album really kind of...
Yeah, it turns up a notch.
So it's interesting. Those were the first 3 songs, and back in the day when you had tapes, I'd be listening to this and be like, okay, yeah, we got some rockin' tunes, but all of a sudden, track 4 or song 4 on side 1 kicks in. You're like, okay, now we're talking. That's a great song. There's a part in the song, Ruben, that I really, really like. Let's just see if I can find it real quick here. I just love the way he does that. Looking for a fight. I've always loved that part in the song.
Love it.
Okay, so track 5. I don't know if this is the first single, but I think it was. This song, Ruben...
Youth Gone Wild was their first single. Had it been.
Oh, you're right. Sorry, Ruben. You're right. That was their first single. I think this was their second single. The one that's coming up here. And when this song came out, And not only is this a great song, but there's nothing, what do you call it? Like this is another song that doesn't have any like sexual innuendo. Another does Piece of Me. Piece of Me is just a buddy looking for a fight. And then 18 in Life comes out. And this song, man, it's just a great song.
Yeah, it hits ya.
There's a part in this song that I really, really like when he sings the part, that child blew a child away. So that part right there, man, when 21-year-old Sebastian Bach, just barely older than 18 himself, screams, that child blew a child away with, and then he screams that ending and the guitar solo kicks in. That just, right, that's good rock and roll right there.
Yeah.
Okay, so track 6. So if you don't recognize that intro, it's Rattlesnake Shake. Where are you? Are you hiding? What are you eating?
I'm just having a sip of a tasty, bubbly beverage.
Is your wife feeding it to you?
No, I was just doing it off camera.
Oh, I thought you... All right. If you don't recognize this is not one of their more big songs, but this song had the misfortune of following 18 to Life on your tape player and ending side 1. All right. Now, Ruben, their first single, side B of the tape, song 1. Yeah. And once this kicks in, there's no stopping it. Boss screaming in my ear, tell me who I was supposed to be.
It's.
Go ahead. It's what?
I lost my words there.
Okay.
I got kind of confused because you didn't sing that part yet.
Sing that part?
Did you hear? How far in the song did you get?
Oh, I stopped just before it went into Boss screaming in my ear. I just started saying the lyrics out loud. That's all.
Just because there's a buffering issue before, I thought, did he play that and I missed it?
Oh no, I stopped before.
It's great, ba-boom, ba-boom. I wish it got covered. It's weird that song's never been covered.
Well, I'm sure if you go on YouTube, there's people that have done it, but by a bigger band or, I haven't really heard of another band covering it, yeah. Good point. That song in no way, shape, or form on any list would ever make a worst of in my books.
Oh, yeah, of course. Including the next one.
What can you do? No.
What can you do?
I love how he mentions he's 6'1" in this song.
Sure. He looks taller than a 6'1". Is the rest of the band just
maybe
jersey short?
Yeah, maybe. All right. It's track 9, Making a Mess.
Oh, yeah!
He was 21 when he did that. Oh, yeah.
That's fun, too.
So it's Making a Mess. Remind me, the album didn't close with I Remember You, or did it? Because there's 2 songs on here, and I can never remember if the 2 songs after I Remember You were future releases or not. No, it was, okay. That's the one that's throwing me off. The 30th Anniversary Deluxe Edition has an extra song, because I was like, how do I not know the song? Because this just came out. And that extra song that's on the 30th Deluxe Anniversary Edition. This last song is called Forever. And I listened to it, I'm like, I have never heard this song before. It's not a bad song, and just for the record, I listened to it all the way through. It would have made my worst anyways. Before we talk about remembering, they're ballad. Every band back in the day, Ruben, remember it used to have a ballad to kind of. But
for the ladies.
But I will say, Ruben, this ballad not only does it showcase Sebastian Bach's vocal prowess, it's really one of the greatest rock and roll metal ballads of all time.
Yep.
And I want to cue up a part at the end when his vocal just gives me chills, personal chills. Imagine seeing that in the studio.
I know. Jeez. Like, they must have known we got a hit.
They had to have known. Now, you can't do this without Sebastian Bach. Who sings this song without Sebastian?
Well, apparently for Journey, they have a replacement singer from Japan, a Japanese guy. And apparently he sounds just as good as the...
I've heard him sing. I've heard that Journey. Yeah, he sounds like Stephen Perry.
So, I don't know, maybe there's another guy that sounds...
Yeah, but they haven't got that guy. And here's the thing, that Filipino, he's Filipino. That Filipino singer, he's great. He's a lot of fun. I've actually seen some concert footage of him. He's actually a lot of fun. He's doing the best he can, and he sings better than Stephen Perry does now, just because of youth.
Sure.
But that being said, you're not Sebastian Bach. Like, you found somebody who could sing like Sebastian. Sebastian Bach's such a unique character. You're not him.
Yeah, he's a character. He's a character.
All right, so the last song on the album with the original release is called Midnight Tornado. And it's a good solid rock song that finishes up the album. So, Ruben, before we move on to their second best-selling album, this one, just so you know, sold 6 million copies worldwide. Not a bad go for a debut album. Basically, they sold 6 million albums because they were friends with John Bon Jovi. It just goes to show you don't burn any bridges.
Yeah.
So, Ruben, do you have a worse pick for this debut album, Skid Row?
Easily.
I wonder if it's the same as mine.
Of course it is. It's the worst song. There's no debating it.
Okay, well, I'm nervous because... Okay, go ahead and tell me what yours is.
Rattlesnake Shake.
Yeah, it's a terrible song. Like, it really isn't a very good song.
No.
And just because this is the name of our show, it's the worst of the best. One of the best debut rock albums of all time. It's almost a flawless album, but the stinker, track 7, and it has the misfortune of coming between 18 to Life and Youth Gone Wild.
Yeah.
Here's the chorus. Shake, shake. Here comes the rattlesnake. Come on. Wait. Boom, boom, baby. Out go the lights. Come on. What are we doing?
It's so hokey.
It's that double entendre, you know. We got the close second, of course, is Big Guy. Great opening riff. It's a great song.
Yes, it is. Musically, it's a great song.
But we don't know officially if that's what they're referring to.
Oh,
okay, now this album, it has some really great songs on it, and I remember you being a really big fan of Skid Row, and I remember that.
Yeah, absolutely. Childhood dream. I shared a microphone with Sebastian Bach. Holy crap!
Yeah,
seriously, like holy crap.
That's awesome.
It is awesome. Yeah, it's definitely a life highlight.
Sure. Slave to the Grind is their sophomore effort.
So good.
This album took us to a level that I didn't. Good. It's like, is this the same band?
It is so good. It is so good.
See, yeah, Skid Row's debut album, I think it's like the metal version of Bon Jovi. And I don't mean that in any disrespect, but it's kind of like if you were to have like a hard rock, heavy metal version of Bon Jovi. That's kind of Skid Row.
The same vein, same neighborhood.
Yeah. But then
influences.
Slave to the Grind comes out. Let's just hear how this opening album starts off with. This is no Big Guns. This is the song you shared the mic with.
Yeah.
Well, outside my window, there's a whole lot of trouble coming. The cartoon killers and the rank of clones. Stachyos kicking rhythm of social circumcision. I can't close the closet on a shoebox full of bones.
It just
yeah.
I remember seeing this music video first, but the video came up.
I know.
And and I and Jason, our brother, we were just like, what is this is just, and he's banging his head, and it's that black and white crazy camera shot video.
Yeah.
And this is heavy, man. This is in your face. And then we thought, this was heavy? Yeah. This is heavy? No.
I know.
Let's just go to track 2. So we put our little CD player in. We buy the CD. We've only heard Monkey Business at this point in our life, Ruben. This came out in 1991. I was 16. You were 14 at the time. Slave to the Grind, the second track of the album, self-titled track, Slave to the Grind kicks in. And then we're just like, what band are we listening to? Come on, kick in. Oh. And then Sebastian's singing with like a lower tone, and it's just like,
yeah.
And then he kicks in, of course, later on, and we had no idea what we're in for. Then we have
Skid Row live.
I've seen them live. Yes, I should say I've seen Sebastian Bach live, but the first time I saw Sebastian Bach live was with the band Skid Row, and this ribbon was in 1991 Tacoma when they opened up for Guns N' Roses on the Use Your Illusion tour.
Oh yeah, I missed that show.
I know. I'm so sorry. It would have been about this, yeah. So Slave to the Grind was out. They toured. I actually got a Slave to the Grind concert T-shirt at that same show.
Yeah, I remember.
It's one of the few concerts where I bought a T-shirt for both bands, and I wore one for the one band and took off and wore it for the other shirt for the other band. Yeah, that was the best show of my life. I have not seen a concert from start to finish that, because the Guns N' Roses tour, Use Illusion tour, I saw this show 2 months before they released their album of Use Illusion 1 and 2. So every song that I heard was live for the first time. So I was listening to it. It's like a listening party for the new album.
Crazy.
And they closed with The Strange. Yeah. Wow. I'm getting chills thinking about Izzy Stradlin singing 14 Years and Dust and Bones, everything, and Double Talk and Jive. Like Izzy sang all those. Yeah. It'll never happen again. But it's in my memory banks. But it was magical. And then of course Skid Row blew the roof off. Tacoma was a crazy crowd. And they opened with Slave to the Grind.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
Ah.
So, The Threat, track 3. Good song. Good. This song is almost fit on the Skid Row's first album.
Sure. Yeah, I can see why you'd say that.
Yeah.
It's heavier. Now, one thing I want to notice is that this album's 48 minutes long. I believe debut album is like an hour and a bit long.
No, the debut album was that long?
I think so. I could be mistaken. I think this is a tighter album. Either which way.
No, their first album, Ruben, was 39 minutes long.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And Slave to the Grind. That's okay. Slave to the Grind, right 48. Here. Oh, I don't have the length, but it's got more.
It's 48 minutes.
Okay, so it's 9 minutes longer. That's
No. I know why I was thinking that is because the deluxe album is longer.
Yeah.
With the live on it.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, the original release album was 39. This clocked in. They had more songs and they were longer too. The fourth song of the album was Quicksand Jesus, and this is a song about I've never quite figured out what the song's about, but I think it's just maybe him losing his faith or something. This album had 3 kind of, I wouldn't say slow songs, but 3 non-crunchy punch songs, and this was the first of those 3. His vocals in this song, personally for me, are one of the best vocals.
I know.
Yeah, I'm going to see if I can find the part that I'm talking about. How long he holds that last note for.
I know. I got chills for that. I genuinely got chills.
That ending, I live for that last ending part where when he screams out, "I'm so far away." Yeah, and then it kicks into that soul at the end. All right, track 5. We go from some to a kind of a soul searching song to a Psycho Love.
We've all been there.
It's kind of funny. Their first 4 songs were, they would say they're mature. They kind of branched away from their talking about the girls, the ladies, and all that stuff. But now with track 5, they had to throw it in. Psycho Love. One of the lyrics in the song is, "Come into my house of pain and feel my psycho love." It's like psycho love. Like, it just can't be a normal, consensual, loving relationship. It's got to be psycho love. It's got to be crazy.
Speaking of crazy, I forget how good Rachel Bolan is on the bass.
Oh yeah, I mean we were kind of chucking crap at the band, and I should make, for the record, because I know they're listening to our show.
Yeah,
my only hurt or resentment towards them is that they just can't bury the hatchet for whatever reason. Like, is Sebastian that hard to get along with it? Look, the Eagles got back together and they hate each other. Fleetwood Mac recorded a whole album together with hating each other. Take that energy and put it on stage.
Yeah,
these guys know who these bands are and what they've done.
Come on, like, they're in their 50s.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh
they're
yeah.
in their 50s. Just smile and nod. Put it in the show. Put it in the album. Tour. We'll come see ya. You can hate each other after the tour while you're on vacation.
Yep.
If they don't like each other, they can play this song.
Yeah.
The next song.
Yeah, track 6. Get the F Out. I love how the title itself is actually bleeped out, but the song itself is not. So don't worry, for those who know the song or have little kids around, don't worry, it'll be edited regardless, even if I make a mistake by playing it. That's the title of the song.
Rock and roll.
All right, so this song is it's their Get in the Ring song.
I remember when the song came out. It's written for like the house party where people won't leave.
Oh, is that okay? My apologies.
Yeah. Sorry,
okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Get out.
Get out.
To go.
Party's over.
It's the R-rated version of Closing Time. Closing time.
Oh yeah,
As a business owner, I thought about playing.
Closing Time or this one?
Both.
I'm sure.
Depending on who it is.
Yeah, depending on the kids.
The kids are good.
Of course.
I like Living on Chain Gang.
Yes, I do too. Yeah, Living on a Chain Gang is actually it's one of those dark horses. Like you forget about it a little bit, then you hear it, you're like, oh, this is a really good song. This is one of their that beginning part when he says killers walk in the streets or whatever, and he carries out that street note.
Yeah, yeah.
And it kicks in with that riff. It's a great opening.
It's a song that wouldn't work for somebody else singing it.
No.
John Bon Jovi couldn't pull that off.
No. It's a Sebastian Bach. I mean, yeah.
It's that real instrument of a unique. Yeah. You know, there's a few songs that in anybody's band somebody else can sing. And,
sure.
But not that one.
Here's Creep Show, track 8. Cowbell. This is one of these songs where, I don't know, I have to say this, but it's not my worst pick, but it's one of those songs that actually has a really kind of cool groove and opening, but it's funny, it's one of the songs where the chorus is actually weaker than the other part. You know how the chorus is usually it's kind of a throwaway song, but it's actually not that bad. If you were to hear this played live, you'd be like, oh, that's an interesting deep cut. I would like to see this live.
Sure. Again, a shout out to Rachel Bolan for the bass. He's got really good bass. I've been listening to a lot of Red Hot Chili Peppers lately because my daughter has got into the Chili Peppers.
Nice.
Which is a lot of fantastic bass.
Yes,
and,
yeah.
And so now I got my ear out for the bass. I'm like, yeah, Rachel Bolan, he's got it going on.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. This is a talented band. Well, that's why they made the 2 albums they made. They had all the right talent going together, working together. So we'll talk really, really quick about their 3rd album called Subhuman Race. There are some really good songs on that, but that was their unfortunate attempt to kind of... They matured too much, and they took the anger and some of the fun out of their songs, where it's like they were trying to compete with the grunge era, and they fell victim. Just be Skid Row, and I think if they just weren't scared to be Skid Row, I think we would have had a better... But there's some good songs on that. Eileen is a great song.
I think they had the hidden track. Remember that was a thing in the 90s, late 90s? They have like the hidden track. Like, how come the song's still playing?
Yeah.
Nothing here. B-side thing will come up.
Yeah. All right. Track 9. This is just a great song. And I want to cue up Ruban the part again where he, on the 3 quote-unquote slow songs on this album, he has a crescendo in his singing that just makes you... And he does it in this one. Oh, it's so good.
Yeah.
He's 23.
Jeez.
I know, if they just stuck together, can you imagine? Even if they had Subhuman Race, that would have been like their 3rd album. Every band, Aerosmith, doesn't matter who you are, has kind of like, oh, okay. But I wonder how they would have reinvented themselves as years gone, had they never broken up. So frustrating. Because he was so young. Subhuman Race came out in 95. That was 24 years ago. Even if they did an album every 3 years, they would have had 6, 7, 8 more albums.
That's crazy.
They don't want to bury the hatchet. They would rather just try to keep recreating the magic with people that weren't there to do it originally.
Yeah.
This is a great song. My bad, I miscued that one. That is a great song. It's Mud Kicker. And I remember Jason, our brother, obviously, really liking Mud Kicker. He really liked the song. I don't know why I remember that. He loved the chorus.
It's a great chorus.
That was track 11. Here's track 10, but it accidentally skipped. I do like Mud Kicker. I just remember Jason really, really liking that one. But I really like this one more. Riot Act's great, and they played Riot Act at the concert. I remember that too. Part that I really love in this song is this part. I think I got it queued up about.
I can picture Axl Rose singing some of these parts.
Yeah, maybe he was channeling his Axl Rose on that last part of that song.
Who wouldn't?
He loves Axl, so.
Yeah.
Okay, the song closes with one of the greatest songs they ever written. Again, probably one of the greatest songs written by a heavy metal or hard rock band, quite frankly. Wasted Time, a song about drug use, a song about how any kind of addiction or especially drugs in the song. It's about drugs in particular, but anything that wastes your time is just not good. It's a waste of your life.
I think back to the times when dreams were what mattered. Dark-stalking youth naivety.
I'm going to see if I can find the part that I really like as well.
Thought you'd let it get this far, boy.
Oh, his vocals, man. 23-year-old kid.
Imagine if you woke up tomorrow and all of a sudden you just sounded like him. Like you could sing like that.
He never had trouble getting the ladies back in the day.
Would you quit your job? Go, I'm going on the road.
In today's culture, Ruben, it'd be difficult. Back then, it was the perfect audience for this kind of music, unfortunately.
Man, if I just woke up and I could sing like really sing.
I know.
Like really sing.
And it's hard to sing that metal type of sound. That the yell sing with it sounding on key.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so Ruben, your worst song on this album.
Ironically, you already know where I'm going.
Well, sure, go ahead.
As the first album, being track 6, same with the second album, also track 6.
Yeah, here's the thing. I'm not. You and we're not prudes. It's not because it just has a curse word in it. It's the fact that the song itself is kind of silly. It's a silly sounding song.
It is.
Speaking of him being 23, it sounds like a 23-year-old would write this song.
Take the F word out.
Yeah.
If the F word brought something to it,
no,
then it wasn't working to begin with.
No. Why Big Guns did not get cut from the last one, despite its double entendre. It's actually a fun song. It's got a good tune. It's actually got a good chords, and it saved it.
Yes.
Like, this song itself, it's only 2 minutes and 40 seconds. It's a throwaway track. It's designed to elicit there's swearing on the song on the album. Now we have to slap the big E on it on the record stores, you know.
Well, hey, we're talking about it.
Well, we're talking about it, but for all the wrong reasons. It's the worst song on their... This is their best album. They have never topped this masterpiece, and they never will again without Sebastian Bach. This is their best Skid Row album ever, and the best song on this album, if I'm going to throw it out at you, I would say, for me, it's a toss-up between Quicksand, Jesus, Slave to the Grind.
Yeah, so for me, it's Quicksand, Jesus, Waste of Time. It's almost like a different genre, though.
I almost said wasted time. I was like, boy, do I say two quote unquote slow songs? The vocal treat you get, I can listen to it, and I do listen to it.
Yeah, but for me, Monkey Business will always be
And that is
Ryan and Sebastian duet that we did together.
Yeah, and that's a wicked opening song.
Yeah.
All right, this was a little bit longer episode, but I think it was worth it. I think Skid Row deserved it. Sebastian Bach, we're going to tag you in this episode. I'm sure you'll listen to it and retweet it on your... We
love you.
We love you, Sebastian, and we're singing you the praises, and we are sad as fans, as Skid Row and Sebastian Bach fans, that for whatever reasons, whatever they may be, whether it's your fault or theirs, whoever's fault it is, we just wish you guys would just bury the hatchet, please. Anyways.
Yeah, I don't know because I haven't followed. It could be not so much his fault, but in the sense of maybe he doesn't want to be with the band.
No, from the headlines that I have read and what I've listened to, it seems like he is more open to it and willing to do it. He is befuddled by their unwillingness to just say, let's just share the stage for... I think he said, let's do it for the fans. I think he has made that statement.
Yeah, why not? Why not? Just go out, see on the stage, boys. And he would slay. He would slay.
Yeah.
The youth, us, would go wild.
Can you imagine if they said they're doing a 10-day show in the States? It'd be killer. People want to see this. Yeah. Well, you heard of Mike Patton doing that Mr. Bungle reunion shows.
No, I didn't. That's the first I've heard right now.
Yeah, the demand was so high. They did a couple. They were having to sell extra venues. It's Mr. Bungle, but because it's not novelty, but it speaks to people's youth.
Sure. John Travolta. Sorry, it's one of the songs on Mr. Bungle's album. Great song. Listen to it later. John Travolta, Mr. Bungle.
It's but they're doing the whole playthrough of one of their demos. Like it was what was it called again? Oh,
they're doing the whole play. What?
No, the whole playthrough.
Okay. I can see the album in my head.
Yeah.
It's like a kind of white background cover.
They're doing the whole playthrough Ruban of The Raging Wrath of the Easter Bunny, 1986.
They're doing that one?
Yes. I'm sure they'll do other songs. They'll do how Joshua Tree, they did the whole album, but they played other songs. That's what they're doing. That's because that's Mike Patton.
I know. It's just, sometimes it's frustrating to be a fan of some artists.
Yeah.
Their 91 album, Mr. Bungle, like that's their debut album.
Yeah. Right.
That's what I was picturing.
Because that's what Mike Patton does.
Some demo.
I'll have to edit this out. Track 2 is Anarchy Up. Track 7 is Evil Satan.
What? I watched Faith No More concert the other night.
Yeah.
It was beautiful.
Yeah.
It was in Paris. I forget what it's called. Hellfest, I think it was.
Yeah.
They're all wearing the white.
Yeah. It's amazing.
And Kathleen. Holy cow.
Yeah, it's amazing. I watched that same performance.
It's so good.
It's crazy.
I rewatched Caffeine again.
Yeah, Relax is just a phase like that when he's like screaming that. Where were you? Where were you? It's like, oh yeah, it's crazy.
Oh, chills.
We haven't done a Faith No More one yet, have we?
No, that's worth doing.
Okay, that'll be our next one. Our next music one, I think, will be Faith No More. I'm willing to do all 5 albums.
I thought you said I'm willing to do all Mr. Bungle.
No.
That's why I started laughing.
Oh, no. All right, brother. It was fun. We'll do this again sometime.
Sure. Look forward to it.
Oh,
and remember?
Yeah. Do you know how to do it?
Remember. Let's give it a try.
Okay.
Do you mind if I give it a try?
Please.
I don't mean to brag, but one time, Sebastian Bach, he had me help him sing.
That's right.
Remember, in front of every cloud. No, I really got it wrong. Remember.
In front of every silver lining.
There's a cloud.
And we're here to help you find it.
Okay. Maybe next time.
Maybe next time. Talk to you later.